check something. So I just cannot for the life of me understand why Twitch Mobile's Stream Manager does not want to go to landscape mode. That really, I don't understand at all. It's fine. No big deal. Um, so we are recording. I need to check. One sec. Okay. So that last recording was 33 gigabytes, which is a lot. I also um I also found a few issues with the last stream. Looking back at it, pretty bad. So like webcam wasn't on for most of it. Found out it's just some little glitch with my webcam that sometimes if I disable it and then go back to the scene in Streamlabs, it just doesn't like that. So gotta watch out for that. Manual webcam. For some reason, it was like really zoomed in. It wasn't zoomed. It was like my game like the game capture screen like just was stretched, and so it went well beyond the actual boundaries of the screen for some reason. So that was kind of funny. Also, the colors were terrible. So that is a setting on like the color setting of game capture. This thing, right? I was running with sRGB, which looks like this. Well, it's fine for this window, but for Call of Duty or for some full screen game, it looked really bad. Changing it to that, everything else. Anyway, we'll check my mic filters. Put filters on here. I didn't realize. Hold on. Hello? Okay. I want this volume right here to get picked up. I want it to get picked up sounding super terrible. Don't have mic monitor. Hello? Here, didn't I? Hello? Hello? Or is it like this? Yeah, okay. I think I had this shit in reverse. I don't know what I'm doing, in case that's not obvious. Let me fuck with this for just a moment. Live. Maybe I'll learn something. Maybe you'll learn something. Okay. Hello? You know what? I think this is fine. As long as it picks up this speaking volume right here. As long as I can talk about this quietly and it picks it up, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think we'll be just fine. This is probably a lot better. Maybe. Maybe. Hello? Maybe? We're gonna roll with it. We'll see. We're learning. That's what matters. So, now that I'm here, I wanted to use this opportunity to dig into some game development. I've been needing to uh, get my like game dev portfolio kind of uh, turn it into actually something because it's basically nothing right now. I have like 2 YouTube videos or 3 YouTube videos um, that showcase like some very selective footage from a few projects. Most of them are from school. Most of them suck. It's not great. And I graduated from my software engineering trade school program. We're like 5 days from it being 1 year ago, and I've done basically nothing besides work on a couple of part-time like mobile game projects for some other people, and I'm not even sure if those are ever going to see the light of day. They still haven't been released. They might not get released. It's really unfortunate. Um, yeah, so that's where we're at. Let me also send this notification out super quick. Let me go ahead and just launch a new project though. So basically what I'm going to be doing today is I'm working with a dude uh, on a project, his idea, his passion project, and we're gonna see if we can get some of these ideas executed, like some of the features we want to have in this game that I'm not used to doing. I've not done anything like this before. So we're just gonna create kind of little small projects to kind of test out some things in each of them, because I probably don't want to end up showing a whole bunch of the code, but uh, we can at least kind of do some feature testing and stuff. So this is just going to be like a gravity experiment, because one of the big things that we want to do is get some like working gravity on some like spherical planets and stuff, kind of program our own physics, gravity and such. So let's do that. Also, uh, let me send this notification out real quick. Right on. Oh yeah, hold on. I should tag Ben here. He's the guy. What's his name? Might need Ben here so we can look, so we can learn. Shit. You know what? No, I can't do vertical, can I? Not with the charger in. That's so bad. Why is it like that? Huh. Oh well. That's fine. Anyway, Unity 6 takes a fatty, I guess, to open. Cool. Hold on. Is me swallowing getting picked up on mic? That won't be good. Yes, it is. That's awful. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna keep drinking coffee until I can't see it on the monitor. Is that the magic number? Did we do it? Almost. Hold on. Keep drinking. Okay, I think we did it. Awesome. Okay. Also, let me fix my stupid little... No, we'll leave those goals the same. That's fine. No big deal. Not a big deal. So we're doing this. Okay. So... First, I think I'm going to check out the tutorial that Ben sent me. He seemed to think that was... useful. Wait. Where'd you send it? Was it in our chat? Ben, are you here? Because... Oh, here it is. Okay.
So a while back I did a video
Oh,
on forces. In there I
Brackies! Hi, Brackies. 7 years. Let me change my headset settings real quick. Audio. I love Brackies.
had a gravity simulation in Unity. And a lot of you guys were asking for tutorials. In this video we'll have a look at how you can implement Newton's universal law of gravity in Unity. And of course if you want to know more about the theory behind it, you can check out the other video. So let's get into it.
Yeah,
so here's a basic scene with a camera, some light, and a planet. I got the model of the asset store and the same thing for the skybox. I'll have a link for both in the description. Now currently on my planet I only have a mesh filter and let's go ahead and universal law of gravity in Unity. And of course if you want to know more about the theory behind it, you can check out the other video. So let's get into it. So here's a basic scene with a camera, some light, and a planet. I got the model of the asset store and the same thing for the skybox.
We're just gonna
I'll
use
have a link for both in the description. Now currently on my planet I only have a mesh filter and a mesh renderer. Let's go ahead and add a sphere collider as well. And we also add a new component. This is going to be a custom script that will handle all of our gravitational code. You could go ahead and call it planet or celestial body, but gravity doesn't only work for planets. Gravity applies to all objects with a mass. So let's instead just call it attractor. Let's choose C# and hit create an add. Let's open it up in Visual Studio. Now first off we can go ahead and delete.
Go ahead and make my scene how I want it. God, I'm so rusty. I've touched Unity for like 3 hours total in the last 6 months, which makes me feel horrible. Terrain. No, I just want a 3D object, friend. Oh, wait. I can't make a 3D object in the assets folder or in the project window? Why not? Am I missing something? It's fine. Let's get our plane rolling. Take this. No, oh my god. I'm sorry, I was trying to use Blender controls for a moment. Alt drag, shift right click, control right click. What? Hold on. I swear there was like a very simple orbit keybind. What was it? Yeah, this is pan, alt left, alt right is zoom. Control shift right? No, control shift left. Oh my god, control alt left is still just alt left. I can pan. Yes, I can zoom. Yes. What was the easy rotation keybind? Oh boy. It's like an orbit or rotate. Alt mouse 0. Mouse 0 is left mouse, right? Oh, I switched to 2D view. Okay, the scene was in 2D view. Okay, that was the issue. What was the keybind I hit for that on accident? 2D view view. Viewport scene 2D pan. In view mode 2D toggle 2D mode action. It was 2. So you hit 2 for 2D mode. What if I hit 3? Does that do it for 3D mode? That's funny. So if I hit 2, Okay, neat. Right on. Anyway, so yeah, it's control, or it's alt left, just like I thought, and then pan, and then zoom. Okay, we're good. We got 3 dimensions. What I wanted to do was scale this thing quite a bit to like, we'll just say 5 and 5 for now. And then let's add like 3 spheres. Let's solve the 3 body problem, guys. So I'm gonna move you over here. Just drag you right over here. Come on. Okay. Go ahead and rename this like just 1, 2. Is it tab or just down arrow and then F2 and then 3? Okay, cool. Awesome. So it's pretty neat. Let's scale one of these things up quite a bit. And we'll scale this thing up a bit. Drag it out here. Scale this one up. And go ahead and make this plane a lot bigger. There. Okay. We've got spheres. You can be even bigger. Yes. Let's just do that. Okay. And then we should probably make a quick player character since this is what we're trying to test. Take our capsule dude. Now hold on, I had a package. I had got something that was like a really quick character controller. Is this what I just downloaded? No, 21st. This might have been it. I think this was it. Okay, we're gonna roll with this. Yeah, this is our guy. What? Okay. Alright. So I think we had a example camera and example character. Kind of forgot how this thing worked. I mean, it should be pretty self-explanatory. I think it just works. Well, you need a camera to go with it, and I think you need to parent it, so put the camera down. Probably do something like that. Camera target. And then on your script, I don't want to spend forever setting up a character, because that's not the point of this at all. I think this will do it though. Wow, that's awesome. That's not it at all. Does anything move? No, nothing moves. That's cool. Well, I simply do not know how this was set up. Oh, maybe we should get rid of main camera first. That might help. Okay, well, we've got that. Example character, orientation toward movement. Mesh root is the meshes, camera target. Motor, rigid body. Do you use like a character? I guess this is the character controller. I guess I'm just kind of surprised that the default doesn't have it like already. It feels like it's not bound to any inputs at all, which is weird. I gotta ask myself how much I want to mess with this at the moment. Alright. So I just switched from VS Code to Visual Studio, and I'm still bugged out by it. I'm not used to it at all. I am actually about to switch to, I think it's Cursor. I think that's the new, like, AI assisted ID. I doubt it's free, but I should look into that. So, character state, player character inputs, motor. For states, set inputs. Inputs, move axis, alright. Let's jump down. Now I know this stuff's bound in Unity, right? Tell you what, I will spend another 10 minutes on this before I just move to focus solely on gravity. No, hold on. I'm overcooking this. Let's delete that asset and just make our own quick player character. Like it's not that hard to do. This will be our character. Parent that. We give this dude a rigid body. He's got a collider, and we give him a character controller. That's all we need. That is all we need. I don't know if I'm going to be using Unity's default gravity. Probably not. But we'll see. So we got dude, and then we just need a camera, which will follow our character. And we'll just set a couple of default things up. Gonna bring it out a bit. Yeah, that's fine. And when that dude moves, we should be moving right along with him. Although our character controller. Okay. This is strange. I've never had a character controller not just work. So what's the deal here? It's, in fact, our dude doesn't even seem to be affected by gravity. Well, okay, there, I guess, but what do you... Like, what? Hold on. Why? It's nothing to do with the inputs, right? Normally the character controllers are perfectly fine accepting like WASD for movement right off the bat. That's strange. So use gravity, make it not kinematic, and just roll with it, just go. You don't just go. Is there a collider issue on here? Like, it's not like a giant collide. No, it's matching the shape of the mesh just fine. Do I need to put you on the ground? That wouldn't really make sense. That wouldn't really make sense at all because you have use gravity on and you're not kinematic. So what's your problem? See, you got shifted upwards. Can you explain that? Like, what if I put you in here? I think there's a collider issue somewhere. Oh, you fall. You have gravity on. Okay. So, is there just like a collider that I'm not seeing that's causing an issue? That's even stranger. So you're perfectly still when you're right over the plane, yet when I drag your ass like way over here, away, you're gonna just fall, aren't you? No, you're not gonna just fall? But if I put you below the plane, you will, right? Like now that we're down here, you're gonna just fall on me. No? Why were you falling just a moment ago? Further down. Go. Okay, are you falling? I don't think you're falling. No, your x-axis is staying the same. What is going on here? Is trigger. Bring you back up. There we go. Okay, but hold on. That doesn't really explain what was going wrong because your collider it's colliding with something big and annoying, right? But what? Because everything else is fine. Okay. I think we just need to roll with it. Do you actually... You probably won't actually make contact, right? Because your collider is a trigger, so it's not going to actually stop you from colliding with anything. Or from just going right through it. Indeed, yeah. Okay, that's fine. Um, can I control you, though? Turn you kinematic? Is there a point to doing that? No. Why would I do that? Character controller. What is the warning that Unity used to give all the time? But something between the collider and the rigid body. Like the collider can't do something with a non-kinematic rigid body or something like that. I do not remember. I'm just like forgetting everything all of a sudden. That's rough. Hmm. Let's do this. Okay. And then turn his trigger off. You shouldn't need a physics material. Oh, now you fall again? And you get grant. Okay, and then if I put the character controller back on you, then what do? This might stop it, actually. The character controller, I think, uses its own... Yeah, that's right. The character controller uses its own like physics and stuff, so turn the collider off. I think it does its own, like, everything, actually. What? No, you need a collider, I guess. Is it the rigid body? I totally forgot. The character controller interferes with something, and I cannot remember what. But without a rigid body now, you don't have gravity. Which is desirable, I think? I really don't know. Okay, let's try something else. Let's bring you to right above our plane here. And then you have a collider, you have a character controller. Just Character controller does not let me do anything. Do you need to be tagged? I bet. I bet that's part of it. No? This is frustrating. Okay. Let's think. What if I give you your rigid body back? Something about my inputs. Does that have anything to do with it? Maybe. You know what I think we should do? Input methods, huh? Did I perhaps launch Unity with some different input method and now it's just not accepting my inputs like it normally would? Because I've never had WASD not work with the normal character controller. Ugh. I hate this protein shake. It's like they put way too much sweetener in it, and it's like so much that it just tastes gross. But like, you ever buy a protein powder and like you can't not drink it because you bought it and you should eat it, but like it's gross. Yeah, that's where we're at. It's like oatmeal cookie or something, but it's just not good. Anyway, um, okay, we launched with our English input method. We're gonna learn something new. Like, if this works, we know. Okay, well that's hilarious. What the fuck did I do, dude? How'd I mess this up this bad? And is it project settings? Input system. Okay, we have our input actions, asset, player move, WASD. Yeah, that's right. Oh my god. So, yeah, jumps assigned to keyboard. I cannot for the life of me understand. You know what? Hold on. Just start with a character controller. Go from there. I still can't control you. And then, I mean, I'm assuming you'll need, what, is it a rigid body you need? Like, yeah, sure. Except for the fact that I still can't control you. That is bananas. What in the hell? Alright. let's wait, game controller? I've never seen that tag as a default before. Is that a Unity 6 thing? Maybe. No. Yeah, it's got nothing to do with it. Probably. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at the documentation for character controller as though we've never touched Unity in our lives. Allows you to easily do movement constrained by collisions without having to deal with a rigid body. Okay, so that's what this is intended to sort of replace. It's like the rigid body, I believe, uses Unity's built-in physics. Control of an object's position through physics simulation. Okay. So I think we're going to just be hand programming all of our physics. So we don't want to use the rigid body. Wait, is this a script? Hold on, is this different than the component? Character controller is mainly used for that. Yeah, that does not make use of rigid body physics. So, wait, switch to scripting. Is there a default script that is character controller? That's what this is, isn't it? It's a class, but component. Traditional Doom-style first-person controls are not physically realistic. Character runs 90 miles per hour, controls immediately turns on a dime. Because it is so unrealistic, the use of rigid bodies and physics to create this behavior is impractical and will feel wrong. The solution is the specialized character controller. It is simply a capsule-shaped collider which can be told to move in some direction from a script. Okay, the controller itself does nothing. The controller will then carry out the movement, but be constrained by collisions. It'll slide along walls, walk upstairs if they are lower than the step offset walk. Okay, okay. I cannot believe I forgot this. That's terrible. I mean, I guess it's been about a year and a half since I started hand programming a character controller, like using these components. Anyway, so um, what's this one called? It's class, but maybe not a default script. Like kinematic character motor, my character controller. Kinematic character controller dot walkthrough dot player. Why not just use one from... I'll start with the one that I got from the package, which should be like right here, right? Core editor. Maybe this. Script class can't be abstract. Oh, it's an abstract class. And I don't know how this thing's actually set up. Maybe we do just roll with this. Because I remember fucking around with this and it being roughly how I wanted it. The capsule has the collider, the camera target. So this has the collider, the controller. Presumably it doesn't need an actual, like, character controller, yeah? I don't know. We'll find out. Well, our WASD doesn't do anything. And I don't get any errors for actually, like, pressing on those inputs. So what's the problem? Like, does dude here need a character controller component? Perhaps. That's unexpected. What the hell? Okay. Kinematic rigid body. Perhaps don't? That isn't it. Let's check all the settings. Let's be sort of thorough here. For example, character controller script. You have a script default, and you have the motor, which is another script that's attached to it, which is this. Okay, so the motor, let's just read it. Let's read this. So, character state, orientation method, yeah, let's define some variables. Controller, let's see how this motor is used. So it uses kinematic character motor script, called motor. It assigns it yes. Calculate camera direction and rotation on the character plane. So this is camera control. Crouching input, motor.set capsule dimensions. So the motor seems to have a lot of the functionality for the movement, right? Update rotation, update velocity if motor grounding. Okay, maybe this script here. Just want to see where input's handled. Determines if the input collider is valid. This thing is so thorough, and I do not understand most of it. And this is a big script. Kinematic character motor state. The entire state of a character motor that is pertinent for simulation. Okay. Alright. I'm gonna go look at my other project, and see how I had it set up here. Just use this. Like I had a working one here. Okay. So I know this thing works. Maybe this will tell me. Because for this, I just kind of like attached a bunch of scripts to it and from the same package, and then just kind of fiddled with them for a while. But so we have player, character, and the camera is parented to the character. So player has this example player script. I'm just going to copy this over, basically, without packaging it, because that'd be goofy. So we have an empty, which is player, and then parent, or as a child of that, we have the capsule that is the character, camera, and sphere are parented to that. And the sphere is just so I can like determine like the direction that it was facing, pretty much. Like that. I just kind of had this little like face thing. It's like, okay, that's your face. And then the camera parented there. And we'll do that, and we'll rotate it on the y-axis 90 degrees. And we'll take the sphere, and we'll just change the I want to change. Let's add a new material. Nope. Add a new material. Add a new material. Not a shader. Oh, thank you. God. And this one's just red. And we just come in here, throw it on there. Okay, so he's got a face. Awesome. Let's bring that camera back, kind of above him. And then and this will end up being a first person thing, but it's fine. We're just doing experiments. So come over here, and I had example player set up here, and we have a, let's check this out. Not that one, check this out. So on character, we have the collider, obviously, example character controller, and kinematic character motor. So we have example character controller, and then the kinematic character motor. Why is that happening? Did I have to move the collider previously? I think it's over here somewhere. Step handling, step by. Huh. Okay, well, I will figure that out in a minute. And then we have the script there. Oh, and then on the camera, we have universal additional camera data, which I'm not sure what that is. And then example character camera. So we want, oh, it's right here. Okay, so example character camera. And then we just parent the camera component, or we assign the camera component there. And then over here, we need to assign this motor script. Oh, I mean, it'll do it on awake anyway, but it's fine. Okay, anything else that's crucial? we need, oops, we need that, and then the camera. I think that should be it. Let's find out. Why would you need to take that long to compile? That's frustrating. Oh, we're just gonna spin. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. I think I might have assigned something wrong here. Camera. There is some part of this script that's supposed to be like orientation toward camera. What about toward movement? Why are you sliding? Can you quit that? What the hell is going on? Why is there constantly something happening with the movement? What in the fuck? Okay, that's funny. Oh, camera follow point. I think we just assigned it to its own transform and then its own mesh root. Well, where's the mesh? It's your capsule mesh, yes. Let's just look at the other project real quick. So we oriented toward camera, toward its own transform for both. And then on the camera itself. Yeah, this should be right. Why are you sliding, dude? Oh, it's probably something, it's probably one of these settings. Hold on. So we can orient you toward camera safely, right? Yeah, it's fine. But it's your stable move speed, orientation sharpness. Ignored colliders. Max stable move speed. If I set you to 0, you're still sliding. Why are you sliding? Why are you sliding? Stable movement sharpness, orientation sharpness, stable ground layers, constraints settings. We got one question about the plane here. What layer are you on? Default? I'm assuming that's a valid plane for the stable ground layers. Yeah, default's part of it. Ground detection extra distance. Max stable slope angle is 60. Yeah, there's no slope here, man. I don't know why you're acting all funny. I really don't. Cast shadows, example movements. It's gotta be something with like some collider, right? Capsule physics material. Did I make one for this? So we have capsule, got all that, an animator, which we're not really using. Our move speeds are fine. And I don't have a physics material assigned to you. Grounding settings, ground detection, extra distance is set to 0. Stable ground layers, everything. Does it have anything to do with the... Wait a moment. Yes, capsule... Collider. I know you've got that, yeah. Mesh renderer. what is the reason for this collider being off? What is that about? Allow jumping when sliding, yes. I should copy every setting over. Why are you sliding, dude? Quit it. It's only in one direction, too. Like, if you look, it only slides to the left for some reason. Like, the left of wherever it's oriented. Why? What is going on? Did I leave a script on it somewhere? No, right? And also, why are you... Wait, tag. Player. Sure. That won't do anything, but... Why do you slide? Gravity... Well... How about that? Are you trying to move down? Is that what's happening? No. Oh god, no, don't! Come back! Stay on the ground! Oh my god. Okay. Jump up speed. Oh, jumping when sliding. Drag, air movement. Like you, I know you're grounded, right? Grounding settings. Extra distance. Discrete collision event. Stable ground layers is everything. Should I not have it be everything? I mean, it shouldn't matter. Like, it's on the default, which is what the plane is set to. So I know you're on stable ground. And I think you'd know that too because you're letting me jump. So why are you sliding? Max stable distance from ledge. Stable denivellation angle. I don't know what that means. Interactive rigid body handling. Hey, did you stop? No. Interactive rigid body handling. Kinematic? No. Simulated dynamic? No. Preserve attached rigid body momentum? No. I didn't assign any gravity to anything. I want to be clear, like, nothing, I didn't do anything crazy. Oh, I see you shoved the camera into a new position. Okay. Let's take a step back. And let's just, we should be able to go like setting by setting here, I think. And just, um, take our example character controller script. We should be able to just copy this component. And then when we go in here, I think we can just paste in the values, yeah? Right? Paste component of those values. Okay, it's only within the same Unity editor that we can do that. Let's do this then. Let's make it easier on ourselves to just come in here. And change everything. And see if we can just mimic exactly what I had in the other scene. Okay, so I did adjust the position of the character. Was there a point to that, though? That doesn't seem to be the issue with the collider. We'll get there. You have your material, shadows, probes, and we're just gonna go component by component until it's exactly the same and just see what happens, if anything. So we have an animator component that we want to put right there. We have it disabled. Stable movement sharpness. These are just the things I tweaked to make it feel good in when I was testing it anyway. So drag, allow jumping when sliding. Jump scalable forward speed. Towards slope and gravity is what we're oriented. Character transform, crush capsule height. Kinematic motor controller settings. Most of this is set to default. Allow stepping without stable ground. Ledge handling. Simulated dynamic. Preserve attached rigid body velocity. Everything else here appears to be the same. Let's check that the plane I added doesn't have some funky thing going on. And it doesn't. The player itself is untagged. Character is untagged. The camera, let's double check those settings. It's all good there. So, check. And the sphere doesn't, yeah, you don't do anything special. Can I view that collider? Maybe it's fine. Okay, you control just fine. Alright, let's see what happens here. I think it has... Well, I've got an idea. That is so weird. I do not even know where to begin. Why? I don't think it has anything to do... Hold on. I'm kind of thinking, what if it's something to do with like the velocity of it, like when it falls? And there's like some weird velocity getting preserved there. But that really doesn't explain much. Like, that, yeah, this isn't... Okay. Do I still have... No, that's not it. What is wrong with you? What's happening? Whoa, hello? Hey, it's you! Cool! Bro's a streamer. Yeah, I guess. Kind of. Technically. What's up, man? I just kind of started this back up uh, after like being gone for 3 years. I streamed a little bit, and then I just kind of lost my will or something. Anyway, how's it going? Kinematic. Oh yeah, so I was adjusting the Y offset, which this isn't. That's nothing. That has nothing to do with anything. But we're gonna change it. Why? Why is he sliding? And it's like to the left. He just can't help but slide to the left. All right. Okay. Like there's something I'm missing here. And I'm probably going to feel so stupid once I find it. Mew, Levi Devon, Logan, Marvel Rivals, thoughts? Those are certainly words. I'll give you that. My chat overlay here? Yeah, it's there. Yeah, those are a lot of words. Cool. I'm one of those words. Tell me. It's Bryce. Yeah, I kind of figured, dude. Tell me why. Start there. I've seen some gameplay. I like how it looks. It's obviously like kind of trying to be like Overwatch, but Marvel and maybe better. I can't tell. It's a little less shooter heavy. I don't know. Like sell me on it as the Overwatch guy, as the competitive Overwatch player. Tell me why I should play Marvel Rivals. And then help me figure out what's wrong with my dude here. Please. Like it's something so stupid, I'm sure. The character feels OP and everyone can play Nick. Really? So I'm assuming it's like not the most competitive thing in the world right now. It's actually just a good, fun game first. 'Cause that'd be crazy. Why do I have this offset? Well, it's not an offset. I mean I changed the character position. No, it's the same. And oh wait a fucking minute. It's this. Yeah, I knew it'd be something so tiny that I overlooked. Yep, dude's face was pushing him back. He had a heavy face that had strong opinions. Okay, cool. I don't really want him to be that far off the ground exactly, but that we can mess with that later. That does not matter. Okay, we got our old stuff back. I realize now I could have just started with the other scene instead of wasting nearly an hour just trying to fuck with a character controller, but it's cool. Honestly though, Bryce, I'm cool. Like that'd be fun. Is it free? Surely it's free. Gotta be free. I'm totally Have I been muted this whole time? Please tell me, Bryson, have I been muted this whole Okay, surely not, right? The little mute button on my mic showed me that I was, but it kind of it's like not working. It's kind of starting to like break. Can be obtained as well. Okay. I'm totally down, man. I really am. Cuz I mean, mic was quiet, but we're not. Okay, is it louder now? Is it like better? I think it was just yelling into my webcam that has its like volume setting way the hell down. I'm still very new to this. Anyway, um yeah, I'm down. I can't say when just yet. I might be available tonight, like in the evening or something. Awesome. Glad it's perfect. Um yeah. Like I was playing COD yesterday. I played a bunch of zombies with Ben and Levi. That was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm making it sound like it's a big deal that I'm playing a game, but it kind of feels like it because I haven't been playing many games. It's been an unfun piece of trash. And install it. Logan played it, was fun. Okay, okay, I hear you. That might be the next game then, honestly. I mean, it looks like a lot of fun. So, I'm down, man. Like I said, I can't say when just yet. It might be tonight, might be tomorrow. Yeah. Different place. Yeah, of course he does. Of course he does. Like, there's no surprise. He's really Hulk, man. What do you expect? He's playing Star-Lord. Star-Lord looks like one of the more fun characters, honestly. Like, very, like, fast movement, like, kind of reminds me of Tracer, sort of. Right? Just kind of like fast movement, low mag size, like fast shooting, low damage weapon, probably lower HP from what I could tell. Yeah, yeah, I saw that. But then the ultimate is like you get like to fly and have the Soldier 76 auto aim on. That looks so cool. I love that. It's crazy damage. It's good. Hell yeah. Um, do you guys like do a lot of like I'm assuming like a whole bunch of like movement abilities and stuff with Spider-Man? Like a whole bunch of like just being evasive and being an annoying asshole. Uh, what am I trying to do? Oh yeah, gravity. Holy shit. I forgot the whole point of this. I've spent an hour trying to relearn the most basic of Unity concepts. But anyway. Sick. Yeah, that'd be probably what I'd try out, honestly, or something like that. One shot. Oh no, no, no. That's terrible. Um, the Y offset. What if I just? No, that's not it. The height. It's not that. It's something keeping my dude like well above. Play legit. Just swing behind them and one shot a square. Oh no. Hardest character in the game. It's not easy to go with them. I feel like it's worth a shot. Playing a shooter on PC again and having all the crazy like movement input combos. It's a lot of fun. Good skill balance. Okay. I'm kind of down. That sounds cool. Have you played Black Ops 6 much? Because I've been really digging the Omni movement and sliding and diving and nonsense over there. That's what it's like. Yeah. Well, I mean, like, it's probably even worse than that, right? Like, more advanced. Because, like, Black Ops 3 had so many movement abilities going on that, like, it's major crackhead energy. I haven't encountered that in Black Ops 6 yet because yes, you can sprint in any direction, you can slide and dive in any direction, but you don't get like boost jumps, you can't wall run. You can't just like evade boost in a direction. So it's like kind of a really good balance, I think, where there's some movement abilities, but they're not insane. So here's my favorite. Yeah, I bet it was, you little crackhead. Yeah, I bet it was. Gen Z gamer over here. Sure. No, I mean it's good and fun, but I just couldn't handle it, especially on console. Granted, I was like 12 playing it. I believe you. I believe you, man. I absolutely believe that. Let me lock in for just a minute here while I um do the very simple task of getting my dude to not be like lift it off the ground. I don't know why he, like, shoves himself. Wow, that was awesome. Hold on. Yeah, I don't know why. Um, yeah, why are you just hovering, dude? What's your problem? Like, why are you doing this? Oh, I do want a positive offset, huh? That's even stranger. I don't like that at all, but it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Probably an offset of like, okay. Yeah, and then if I do that, we can jump and get ground. Yeah, this is fine. You're still sliding, aren't you? Well, a little bit of sliding is normal. Well, if you're not getting shoved by your own face, I think we're fine. Um, cool. Also, take this sphere. I need to like put it on the other side of him real quick. Kind of like that. Yeah, that works. 18. That's insane, Bryson. That's bananas. I mean, last I saw you, I guess, it was at Friendsgiving, and you were 16, maybe? I don't know. What are you making? Well, so there's a bigger project that this is supposed to tie into, um, which I'm not going to tell too much about right now, but all I'm doing in this project is I wanted to test some gravity, and granted, I've spent the past hour just trying to relearn and reorganize my character controller, so not the most efficient use of time, but now that we have our dude, what I want to do is work on like custom gravity and custom physics for this game. It's going to be, we're going to hand program all the physics and such. And so the thing we're starting
As we're
with
asking for tutorials. So in this video, we'll help you how you
is
can
gravity for objects. Because what we're going to have is we want to be able to like have the player move around a very large sphere and have that sphere have its own center of gravity so that the player is still kind of, gravitationally pulled toward the big
to
sphere
learn
that they're
Newton's
on.
universal law of gravity in Unity. And of course, if you want to
So,
know more about the theory behind it, you
now
can
that we've
check out
spent
the
an
other
hour,
video. So let's get into
messing
it. So
around, we're
here's the
going to
basic
actually
scene with a camera, some light, and a
do
planet.
something.
I got the model of the asset store, and the same thing for
Also,
the sky
Bryce,
paths. I'll
will
have a
you
link for
give me
both in the
feedback on
description. Now
this
currently on my
audio
planet, I
level
only
for
have
my,
a mesh filter and a
like
mesh
for my
renderer.
desktop
Let's
audio?
go ahead and add a
Is
sphere
this too
collider
loud?
as
Is
well. And
Brachy's
we
just
also add
screaming
a
at
new
you? Am I
component. This is going
drowned
to be
out?
a custom script that will handle all of our gravitational code. You could go ahead and call it planet or celestial body, but gravity doesn't only work for planets. Gravity applies to all objects with a mass. So let's instead just call it attractor. Let's choose C# and hit create an add. Let's open it up in Visual Studio. Now first off, we can go ahead and delete our two methods, and let's instead create a method called attract. This method is where the magic happens. Now attraction happens between...
Okay. Let's add a, it's all good for me. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, my first stream, you can look back at it and it's like really bad, for many reasons. The first stream from yesterday anyway, but that was one of them. Okay, so we're just gonna make 3 spheres, and where are you? Okay, they're all below here, so let's just take all these, lift them up, and take this. Oh, I already have spheres. I forgot I did put these on. Okay. So I don't know what sphere this attractor script is going to go on just yet, but we're just going to follow this tutorial pretty step by step and then see how we need to tweak it. Yeah, why did you open up a different script when I made this one?
in
Thanks.
two objects. So as an argument, let's take in another attractor, which is going to be the object that we want to attract. We can call this object to attract. Now according to Newton's
Void attract. Oh, that's the method. God, it's been so long. So, add a rect, attractor. So, okay, so objects with the script attractor are gonna just attract other objects with that script. Got ya. Right on. What am I doing?
Law of universal gravitation, there's a few things that we need in order to calculate the gravitational force between two objects. The first one is the position of the two objects. We'll use this to get both the distance between them and the direction to apply a force in, but we'll also need the object's mass. Now we could of course go up here and define a mass on our own, and we could also use some more of Newton's laws to calculate how the objects would move after we apply forces to them. But Unity actually has a component built in for this sort of stuff already, so I don't see a reason to reinvent the wheel on this one. I'm of course talking about the rigid body component. Now what we need to do is just make sure that every attractor has a rigid body component. We'll call it RB, and let's also make sure to mark it as public so that we can access it from another attractor.
Is that my character controller
and go into Unity, we of course also need to add the component.
Does not
let's
have
add component of type rigid body, and let's drag it into the slot. On the rigid body component, we'll make sure to disable
rigid body. My character controller
public so that we can access it from another attractor. If we now just save this and go into Unity, we of course also need to add the component. So let's hit add component of type rigid body, and let's drag it into the slot. On the rigid body component, we'll make sure to disable use gravity because we want to apply that on our own. And here we can adjust the mass. Now the mass for a planet like Earth is huge, and that's despite Earth being fairly small. Luckily, however, we can define ourselves what unit we're using. So we could just say that a mass of 1 here equals 6 times 10 to the power of 24 kilograms. If you're going for realism, just make sure to keep the proportions right. In our case here, let's just set the mass to something like 1000. And of course this will also totally depend on the scale of your scene. My planet is fairly big compared to the standard Unity sphere, so that's why I'm kind of bumping up our mass. We can now go into Visual Studio and we can now access our mass. We can also access the rigid body of the object that we are trying to attract. Let's store that in a variable as well of type rigid body. Let's call it the RB to attract. And we can just set it equal to obj to attract.rb. And now we're ready to do some math. First off, let's get the direction between the object that we are trying to attract to this object. We'll do that by taking our current position and subtracting the position of the other object. We can then store this in a vector 3 called direction. Now in order to get the distance between the two objects, all we need to do is
So I can't spell at all today. I can't type anyway. So our position is going to be just subtracted by that position. No, not quite. It's our. Okay, so what we're storing is the vector 3, the difference between them. Okay, gotcha. Got you.
Is make a float called distance and set it equal to our direction vector's magnitude. In other words, the length of our direction vector. Then we can calculate the magnitude of our force. Let's create a float called force magnitude, and this is where Newton's central equation comes in. We'll take the mass of the one object, rb.mass, multiplied with the mass of the other object, rb to attract.mass, and we'll then divide that by the distance between them squared. To square our distance, we'll go math.pow to take a number and lift it to a power. In our case, we want to take the number distance and lift it to the power 2. And now we can create our final force vector. Let's create a vector 3 called force and set it equal to our direction vector dot normalized and then multiplied with our force magnitude. Force and set it equal to our direction vector dot normalized and then multiplied with our force magnitude. Pow to take a number and lift it to a power. In our case, we want to take the number distance and lift it to the power 2. And now we can create our final force vector. Let's create a vector 3 called force and set it equal to our direction vector dot normalized and then multiplied with our force magnitude. In other words, we'll apply a force in the direction of our object with a strength defined by Newton's equation. Then in order to apply that force, we'll go RB to attract dot add force, and here we'll simply input our force vector. Now of course we aren't calling this method anywhere, so currently we will see nothing happening. To change that, let's go in and create a void
Okay,
fixed
first
update
of all, I
method.
don't have GitHub Copilot anymore, but what? But IntelliSense on Visual Studio right now is so good. Like it seemed to just have gotten massively improved at some point.
Create a void.
I don't know. What's force magnitude? RB to attract dot add force.
Fixed update method.
So real quick. Okay, well, let me know if he does. I mean, I'm down. Today after like 1:30, I gotta head out until at least 4:30, and we'll go from there. So let me try to understand this attract method real quick. So we have the object to attract, or the script of that on that object, the attractor script. We're defining a rigid body, which is that object's rigid body. And we're saying vector 3 direction. We're getting a vector 3, which is our position subtracted by their position. So it's the direction. Would it be pointing to the object, I think? Yeah, it'd be the direction pointing, it'd be the vector pointing to the other object. And then the distance is just the length of that vector, or the magnitude, which I think is just the length, I think. And then we have force magnitude. So this is our mass times the mass of the other thing divided by the distance squared. I don't know why. Is that freaking Newton's formula or whatever of gravity? Hold on. Newton gravity law. Oh. So what is this? Is that this? Is it this? So forces. Wait. Okay. Here's an explanation. If it's a gravitational force between the two objects, N. I don't know where N is. G is the universal gravitational constant, so the force of gravity. The mass of both objects divided by the distance squared. Is that seriously how gravity works in real life? That's crazy. Like that it's that simple. I thought it would be some like crazy multi-step whatever the hell. It's actually not that complicated though. So the force between the two objects is just equal to gravity. Is that multiplied then? Let me look at the script. Magnitude is just divided by gravity. So force magnitude, and then force is direction normalized times force magnitude. Wait. Universal constant of gravity. Have we not, do we define our own gravity yet, or we're just defining the force here? Because we're giving mass between both of them, and we're just, where's our, like, what's our constant of, like, do we even need, you don't need a universal gravitational constant. Because there's already, like, the constant is just 1 for all of them, right? Like, you don't need, I'm not explaining this very well. If you're making your own gravity, your own physics, you don't need a constant because you're still just, we're not making our own gravity. We're just changing the force between objects with mass. So all we're doing is just editing the mass, I think. We're not like defining anything crazy. If we edit the mass, then we edit the force. So this sounds like some Star Wars stuff. All the force. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, we're gonna use the force. What? Look at this dude. He thinks he knows shit. Thinks he knows shit because he sat under a tree. That is it, though. Mass of objects multiplied divided by the distance squared times gravity, and that's the force. Times the gravitational constant, and then that's the gravitational force. That's what F is. When we think of gravity, what we really mean is this F. The G is some constant. I don't know how that got arrived at, but the gravity we're thinking of is this F here. It's the force of when you're free falling, you're falling at this speed, like with this force, this velocity. Okay. I think I get it. Please continue.
Remember, fixed update is called a fixed amount of times per second, and we use it for all of our physics code. Here we want to find all of the other attractors in our scene. I'll show you how to optimize this in a second, but for now we can just use find objects of type, and we want to find all attractors. We can then create an attractors array called attractors.
Hey, you slow down.
The objects we found. To find all of the other attractors in our scene, I'll show you how to optimize this in a second, but for now we can just use find objects of type, and we want to find all attractors. We can then create an attractors array called attractors and set it equal to the objects we found. We'll then create a for each statement where we'll loop through all of the attractor components and we'll call each one the attractor in our attractors array. And for each one of these attractors, we'll call attract, where the object to attract is the attractor we're currently looking at. Let's now try and save this. Go into Unity, select our planet, drag it into the project panel to create a prefab out of it. Let's then do to the project. Let's now try and save this. Go into Unity, select our this.
Chill. No, brackies, please. So run a for each loop, and here we're just running the attract method on each of them. So this is just constantly applying that gravitational force to all objects that we want to, that will have the component, which is not how we're gonna do this in the final version, but this is just an experiment to understand how the gravitational force can work, so that whenever we're doing our custom, it's basically going to be planets. But yeah, I wonder if Ben's here. Ben's probably not here. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna get some more coffee and be right back. Still at Levi's? No, we moved. When was it? Like late August, like at the end of August, we moved. Because I got this job that paid pretty well to where we could move, and we were putting our plan together to move. We weren't like in a big rush, but then we called up these apartments, and they're like basically saying it's back at Parkwood, and they were saying that the rates were just about to go up from 895 to 1145. But if we like submitted our application that week, then they'd give us the old rate of 895 for a year. So it was like, well, shit, I guess we're doing this now because that's too good of a deal to pass up. Because, yeah, under 1,000 a month for rent in this area is like, yes, like let's do it, please. So, yeah, it was really rough trying to do all that super fast though. But here we are. Oh, and then I lost that job. That was like 3.5 weeks ago. Look, things are fine. We're fine. We're fine.
Let's now try and save this.
But yeah,
go
it's
into
pretty
Unity,
funny.
select our planet, drag it into the project panel to create a prefab out of it. Let's then duplicate our planet by going Control D.
Whoa, where are we going? What are we doing?
Go into Unity, select our planet, drag it into the project panel to create a prefab out of it. Let's then duplicate our planet by going Control D, move it over, and let's do this a few times. And once you have a few different planets scattered around, let's try and hit play. Now of course we'll get a bunch of errors. The reason why is a simple mistake in our logic. When we loop through all of the attractors we find, we're actually also looping over our current object. That means that each object is also trying to attract itself. And getting the direction from point A to point A and the distance between point A and point A doesn't make too much sense. So let's go in here and make sure that we check if the attractor we are looking at is not equal to this attractor. Well, then we'll go ahead and call attract. Let's now try again to hit play, and depending on the masses of your object, this might look really cool or as boring as mine is. If we look at the position, we can see the values are actually changed or as boring and call attract. Let's now try again to hit play, and depending on the masses of your object, this might look really cool or as boring as mine is.
What? You work at an esports place? What do you do? Where and what do you do? That's nuts. Of course you do. That's so cool.
See, the values are actually changing. It's just happening super slowly. If we select all of our planets and bump up the mass by putting, say, another
zero
that
place
here,
on Sheridan?
then we can start to see something happening, especially if we do that once more. Luckily, we can easily control the scale of all gravitation using a simple constant. And this constant is actually already part of the equation. It's called the gravitational constant, or just capital G for short. Let's go ahead and create this in a variable. Let's make it a constant float. We'll call it capital G, and this is another one of those ridiculous numbers. This one is ridiculously small. We can play around with this in any way we want. Let's just take the base number here, 6.674, put that in here, and let's just move over the decimal place a few times here, and let's go down to where we calculate our force magnitude and make sure to multiply with G. We now save that, go into Unity and hit play. We now save that, go into Unity and hit play, and now grab G and make sure to multiply with G.
Yeah, so on the force magnitude, yeah, just... it's called Contenders Esports. I pretty much do everything. I work the front and stuff. Dude, that's so flippin' cool. I've got to come in and check that place out. I've seen the... I've like drove past it a bunch and seen the signs and stuff, and thought like, oh, that's really cool. We have a place there. Like, that's so cool, dude. Definitely got to check that out. Tell me, Bryce. I'm too old to get into esports, right? Please say that. Just tell me so I don't ever get that crazy idea in my head again. I played Siege for 3 years straight, every single day, with that dream. I need you to tell me the dream is dead so I don't start doing that again.
We now save that, go into Unity and hit play, and now gravitation should be happening at a much quicker.
How old are you?
Right.
27.
Awesome. There's really not much more to it. Using just the system we have now, we can start messing around with
I
planets,
know I could play
masses,
strategy
and adding other
games.
forces to say make
I
a
could
planet
play
orbit
Magic
another.
the
Let's just for
Gathering
fun take our second planet here and
and
skip.
chess.
Let's just for fun take to say make a planet
Just tell me I
orbit
can't
another.
do anything
Planets,
else.
masses, and adding other forces to say make a planet orbit another. Let's just for fun take our second planet here and scale it up a bit. And let's just increase the mass here by a factor 10. If we now hit play, we should see that all the other planets would get drawn towards this one.
What the fuck is happening here?
Rate. Awesome. That's
Now
really
you can compete.
Ah,
you mother! Don't say that, Bryce. I told you. I told you to say not that. I'm banning you. Bye. God. I'm kidding. It's fine. Maybe I need the hope, dude. Maybe I need to be told.
Make a planet orbit
you
another.
Can do something
Let's just
fun.
for fun take our second planet here and scale it up a bit. Start messing around with being at a much quicker.
Alright, hold on. I'm losing track of where I was at though, so hold up. So constant flow. Do I want to make this a constant? What I really want to do is make it a public variable I can change. Rivals already has an in-game tournament system. Of course, of course. I really enjoy like the fact that a lot of games are Yo, so you okay? So you already like placed in a qualifier round on this tournament? That's pretty sick, dude.
Awesome. There's really not much more to it. Using just the system we have now, we can start messing around with planets, masses, and adding other forces to say make a planet.
Okay, so let's take these spheres and let's add our attractor script to all of them. Let me make sure. Yeah, I figured I added 2 on this one. And then rigid body, I think it already gets defined as... No, it doesn't. Just on awake, private void, awake. Yeah, thank you. So, let's see what we got here. Maybe he wants to play the shark character. Yeah, he does look fun. There's no rigid body attached to the one game object, but it's good. Okay, so we need to throw a rigid body onto all of these. Yep. And we don't want to use gravity on any of them. Fuck you, Jeff. Wait, hold up. You guys, you doing your thing or no? I can't tell if they're moving. I don't think they're moving. Hold on. Let's get to a good place to observe. Okay, so we want to take these here rigid bodies. Let's increase their mass. Is that doing it? I think they're moving. Yeah, they're moving. So is this like exponential? Like if it's factoring in the distance between them, and that's the divisor in like the physics equation, that should mean that the closer they get, the faster the pull. Right? It's like an exponential curve of attraction. Should be. But look at it, dude. It's moving. Yeah, they're moving. Oh, this is so lovely. So now we're going to have to do something similar to this, or include this force calculation into the broader physics of a character controller so that the character controller can stay tethered like to a space body that's round. Like Super Mario Galaxy is another great example. Like it's that kind of thing, except on a much different scale. But the concept is still absolutely there. Look at all that. That's so nice. So are we just doing an add force in the script? Yeah, it's just an add force, which is exactly what you would want. Maybe it was... Fuck you, Jeff. The shark is a demon. What's wrong with the shark? I've seen his ult. That's his ult, right? Where he like goes into the ground and there's like a big watery AoE thing.
planet orbit another. Let's just for fun take our second planet here and scale it up a bit, and let's just increase the mass here by a factor 10. If we now hit play, we should see that all the other planets would get drawn towards this one fairly quickly. Now, in case you want to have huge amounts of planets, I definitely recommend that you optimize it a little bit. A way to do this is to avoid searching for other attractors each fixed update call. Instead, let's go ahead and create a public static list of attractors.
Yeah.
And we'll call this our attractors. Then whenever an object is enabled, so void on enabled, we want to register this object into the attractors list. So we'll simply go attractors.add this.
Okay. Let me add this new method here. Void attract. So, and honestly, I don't think I want this to be a constant. I kind of want to make it a public variable too. Because then we can really mess with gravity. We're doing it with points too. I was gonna say, you could even have planets where like the gravity is like uneven. Like there's like gravity wells or something, because some weird thing happened to the planet. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, we'll just public static list of attractors called attractors. So it's a list. I'm gonna need. I don't need that. There's no way. What's your problem with my list exactly? Non-generic type list cannot be used with type arguments. That's absolutely not true. How about that? Shouldn't need anything. Could not be found. The engine. Link using link. Right? Is that it? No, I'm probably really stupid. I can't remember. Hold on. Let's finish out the method how we want to write it. So list, and then in unenabled. Actually, I like to put that here. So void on enabled, and it's on enable, right? Yeah, it's on enable. We'll come in here and go attractors dot add this. So the list is static. If the list is static, that means it maintains its value. You can change it, right? I think. I forget. Can't because my main is too high ranked to play with though. Devin is a bronze Hulk player. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. I love you, Devin, but that's funny. That's hilarious. How do I look with my legs crossed? Oh, you can't see my beautiful legs. Okay, that's fine. I'm sure Brackies is about to tell me what this needs. So we don't want to run this in fixed update. I want to just throw it all into.
Of course, we also need to make sure to initialize the attractors array. So in here, we'll just add a small if statement saying if attractors is equal to null, then we'll set attractors equal to a new list of attractors. And then on disable, so void on disable, we'll go ahead and remove from the attractors list. So let's go attractors dot remove this. Then in the fixed update call, we can simply avoid this line altogether and simply loop through all of the attractors in our avoid this line attractors dot remove this.
Okay. So on disable void. Is that really how Unity used to do it? On enabled and then on disable? Or did he just mess something up? I bet he messed something up. On disable. Stop. So I don't exactly understand the point of having a static list other than the fact that you can reference it without like having to reference it like through another class, which I don't. I don't know. It's fine. We'll leave it for now. Tractors.remove this. My account get creamed on. Get creamed on. Awesome. Awesome, Bryson.
Then in the fixed
I'm
update
proud
call,
of
we
you.
can simply avoid this line altogether and simply loop through all of the attractors in our attractors list. And I got a bunch of errors here, and that's because I misspelled on enable. We need to disable the D there. And now if we hit play, our scene is much more performant. One thing you will notice is that if you go ahead and duplicate an object, it will throw you a quick, we need to disable our attract this. Then in the fixed update call, we can simply avoid this
Okay,
line
why is this
altogether
better?
and simply loop through all of the attractors in.
Okay. So we're not popular. What was we doing before? Hold on. So here we had our array of attractor scripts, and every update call we were running find objects of type, which from my understanding, a lot of the Unity search functions are like super like resource intensive, all the like search and find stuff. So this loops through like every object of the type. That's just too much. So then instead of doing that, we just populate our own list once, store it. It's a static variable, a static list, and then we just loop through that list. And we only update the contents of the list when one of these attractors becomes enabled or disabled. Oh, good Lord, Bryson was already in here. Ain't no way, bro. Spelt my name wrong. My God, that's hilarious. What fucking include do I need for lists? It's not that it's uppercase, right? Because that's not it, right? No. What is the include for lists? Is it right here? Just system. Why did this not initiate with system? Or systems. What? All my scripts initialize with that, unless I just removed it. Okay, it's not system, it's also system.collections.generic, yeah? Cite him. .generic. Capital G? There we go. So system.collections.generic. Okay, so that should be everything we need, right? Attractors of type which is not valid in the given context on line 21. What? That should do it, yeah. Simple Byron. Brandon. Look up 6 on this, right? There you go. What? Clan Discord. Clan. What was this about? What clan were we on? It wasn't an actual clan. That was a RuneScape thing. Unless... No fu... Really? Okay. I didn't... When did Bryson ever touch RuneScape? I'm confused. Anyway, you guys abandoned me. That sounds right. That sounds right. RuneScape is like Minecraft. We have those little 2-week phases, dude. You just play for 2 weeks straight and then hop off again for another 6 to 12 months. Skills at like 50. And zero. Shit. I'm sure we'll hop on at some point. I'm sure. So sure. Oh, do I have the room for this? Probably not. Sometimes a couple months. Yeah, for sure, for sure. You telling me this looks dope? You telling me? Oh, look at that cute little shark thing, though. Look at that little shark dog looking thing. All right, listen. When I hop on, ready to play a game, Bryson, I will install and such, because I'm actually pretty low on storage right now. I'm having to move the 33 gigabyte recording from yesterday over to my hard drive, and that hard drive is having some issues with read and write speeds. So give me just a minute. I'll get there. It's adorable, okay, but oh, Levi's gonna go play Monster Hunter World. I bet. I bet. Oh no. What am I doing? Oh yeah,
Are
finishing
attractors
this up
list.
and
And I
seeing
got a bunch of errors
if
here,
there's
and that's
anything
because I
else I
misspelled
should
on
know.
enable. We need to disable the D there. And now if we hit
47
play, our
gigs.
scene
Yeah,
is
I gotta
much
wait.
more performant.
I gotta
One
move
thing
this
you will
recording
notice
at the
is that
very
if you go ahead
least.
and duplicate an object, it will throw you a quick error. The reason for that is that when an object gets duplicated, you will have two objects at the exact same position. And again, our equation does not like that. So we'll simply go in here and say that if our distance is equal to 0, well then we simply want to return out of it.
And this probably won't even apply to the thing I'm trying to do either, but we'll go ahead and do it anyway.
Now things are just a little bit safer, and we should now be able to hit play, select an object, and duplicate it with no problem. That's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a future one. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to watch my...
So we're gonna need to apply this in a totally different context. For our purposes, but having the attractor script work at all is pretty cool. So, like, let's come in here and let's make the big one. Let's just say its mass is like 20 or 30 or something, and this one will be like 10. And so our attractor works. And obviously we'll have to do this in a totally different way. It'll be like one-sided as well, because like what we're gonna have is like planets basically, and we don't want the planets themselves to move. We just want the player to be attracted to the planet in a similar way. So this is actually really cool though, because we could actually do something really interesting if we're having all these different bodies that like have force and gravity and attraction and stuff. We can make some really interesting like spaceship flight mechanics if we really wanted to. Like you have to like I don't know yet, but that's pretty neat. Yeah, they're getting attracted, dude. Look at all that attraction. Let me take our character and add the attractor script to him and just see what happens. And I should have the rigid body be auto-assigned in the script. Nope, it's not doing it. Oh, no, just isn't a rigid body attached. That's right. Yeah, that's right, because the way my controller was set up, rigid bodies would maybe mess with it. Let's see. Probably mess with it, honestly. Let's find out. No. No, it actually works fine with the rigid body, as long as gravity's off. Oh, look at it, though. That's weird. Yeah, it's coming for me because I got gravity. The question is, does the gravity... Like, if I don't move... Is my character moving at all? It's not. It's not moving in the slightest. So adding force... Wait, hold on. Make it kinematic. Let's see what happens. Does that do anything? No. See, I expect this behavior when it is a kinematic rigid body, but when this is disabled, I expect this to move, right? Because we're applying a force to the rigid body, unless something in the script there might be something in the script that is disabling force getting applied to it or like zeroing it out or something. Hmm. Even when I use gravity, it doesn't do it. Yeah, there's something stopping it. One of these controller scripts is messing with it. I'm gonna see if there's a setting for it real quick. We're probably about to wrap this up though for the day since I gotta head out and go to my plasma donation. Interactive rigid body handling. Simulated character mass. Simulated dynamic. Preserve attached rigid body movement. I don't know. Discrete collision event. Gravity. What if I zeroed out your gravity? No. It's for the mesh, the animator. Orientation toward camera, max air movement. Drag, jumping, miscellaneous, gravity. I'll probably have to go in there and find like how it's doing its movement calculations or if it's like force calculations or whatever, and then see where in the script I'll have to like edit it. Stable ground layers, everything. No, just do that. It's probably has something to do with the grounding. Like, hold on, let's do a test. So if I jump and become ungrounded. Yeah! Oh shit! Wait, that's straight up. Hold on. No, we're not moving on the X and Z, are we? At all? No, we're not moving on X and Z at all. Okay. Don't get too excited. Hold up. Plus its own gravity. Like it's still got its own gravity dragging it down, right? So there's definitely some work to do in the character controller script to stop it from doing this. Here I am getting all excited. Grounding settings, step settings, ledge settings. Yeah, basically the grounding is keeping it. I'll have to check both the scripts. The grounding and the gravity is keeping it locked to the plane that it's on. Even if I disable this and I have the guy like run over here, it still won't just like lock to the other one, right? Like if I come here. Well, hold on. Let's take gravity, planar constraint axis even. You don't want that on, but where's gravity? Let's do minus 9.8. So I want to know if I just turn on really low gravity here, and then I come over here, get near these bodies, and I jump. Well, hold on. Let's get a little closer to them. Let's get like right up against this one. Kind of pull it away. Okay, and then, so we stop movement on X and Z. Does that get us any closer? Do we move on X or Z at all? And the answer is no. So we've definitely got a lot of work to do to make this character controller do what we want, and that's fine. But we at least got like the principles of like gravitational force down, and we can use that as a building block for our more complex character controller. So I'm kind of happy with what we did here. I saved the project. I think we're good. So right on. Okay, I think we're good. Cool. It's been fun. It's been awesome. I'll see you guys later. Bryson or Levi, whichever one of you is still here. Uh, yeah. Right now, my only schedule is this 11:30 to 1:30 window to do game dev stuff. I might do other stuff, like how I just did a 4-hour Black Ops stream yesterday. We'll see. I'll see you around.